Hello, this is FG back with you for Ambinar, continuing on with the Austin Foss campaign. The last episode I ended it a little bit early, just because I had to take a phone call. But now we are back, and we are going to make sure to grab everything we can from the, what are they called? From the Lesdemarians. Also, apparently the Empire of Ambinar is a thing. Yeah. I don't think they're particularly significant, Empire of Ambinar, but it exists. There's my commandant. I think I accidentally dismissed the advisor I want. That's fine, though. Alright. Still don't want to hand over Amadia. Makes sense. Pretty good region. With all the gold. Alright. They will hand it over now, though. Alright. And just like that, we can do learning from warmongers. When we initially fought with the Techendi, we assumed their generals were fools. They focused more on capturing glory and prestige than fighting strategically or effectively, many times performing stunts which cost them greatly. But as we continue to war with the Techendi, one thing has proven clear. Even if we win the battle, it is the Techendi armies who continually captured the hearts of the local populace, making it difficult for us to govern the alienated masses. Clearly, we have much to learn from the Techendi way of warfare, which we can now see is a highly dynamic and multifaceted system. In order to achieve this, we must collaborate closely with our native allies in Techend. Alright, and this army can head right there. They can head here. And we want to grant them that province, and that province, and then we can core everything else. Alright. Want to set a colonist right that way. I'll do an Inquisitor, Civil Service, Government Progress, Army Commission, Conscription, Diplo, Navy Commission, Admin, Diplo. Alright. So, just like that, we should be able to get to colonizing. Alright. And take X-17. And right here, these guys can go on suppression duty. As we make sure to hold on to all of Amadia, which we now have. Minus one singular province, which we can colonize. Got a bunch of Eldabahar here. Ideally, I would like to convert all of the Busalari, Pearls Edgers, Green Orcs over to our religion. Okay, truce with them, still not up. Amadian control. On the shores of Lake Chikantu lies the great city of Kara Lokwin, a settlement of great importance for the region with the greatest population. Their rich land is almost of no interest to them, and we may have potentially found relics of great quality throughout the outskirts of the city. We must convert the city into a base of operation, so we may extract the relics and begin our studies while also focusing on finding more across Tinalurti. The further we get from the shore, the more and more we hear tales about a city of wonder, the heart of Olean, the natives have named it. Kara Lofken, a city that lies in an advantageous position within the lake, acts as the bustling center of the region. From here, our colonial infrastructure in Amadia could take its next step. This region is rich in metals of all shapes and sizes, from base metals to the rarest and hard to get gold and silver. There are even rumors of precious precursor artifact. Once it is done, Tinalurti will unquestionably be Fasiri land. Alright, and we can get trade goods. Converts a whole bunch of provinces. And they... Nope, wrong army. This one can come right here. It's actually almost time to get rid of a whole bunch of these. Reduce our overextension. Okay, they need to head back to the mainland. These guys can go here. And we also want to go ahead and build these. So that. And all these provinces should actually have a little bit of warding nowadays. And I also would like to build more of those. And then we can do a gathering materials to make sure we are able to sustainably provide the shamans with their weaponry. We need to make sure that we have the supplies to do so from the get-go. We need mines of iron and copper, and we need to make sure that our major forgers are capable of handling this work without problem. Tiburana and Kerka will be the centers of Jane Katia production, making sure our shamans can stay in the fight. Alright. Now we send a colonist right there. Okay. We will also... We have... Okay, we do want to get admin ideas done, because we want the governing capacity. Alright, and then we can... colonize, nothing else. That's fine, though. We don't need to colonize anything else. Alright, they can go right here. What should we take last? Yeah, scientific stuff. Sounds good. Alright. Now we'll finally convert that province over. And we will let the Chendayans have these two as well to finish off that state. And then we will be done with the Champayons. How much longer is the truce with them? Not too much longer. We will send a second army over this way. Okay, so all of their provinces need further development and... what does it need? Fair development, temple, workshop, marketplace. Temple, workshop, marketplace. Do we need anything else? Nope. Now we need to get all of those provinces. Here's our death comes. Culture has been changed. Advancement, study, illusion. Yeah, we're probably not going to get past higher than that. Right. And that. Do one here as well. We want tech. Do I have anything that would reduce the influence of the burghers? Strengthened parliament, administrative clergy. Yeah, let's get that instead to stabilize our realm a little bit and also get power away from the merchants guilds. Raise free trade. And then curtail the burghers, I guess. Death of a Ray. Alright. Dynastic actions. And we will begin a pilgrimage. Let's begin. As a diplomat, I learned 11 in time. Yep. Pleasant King's intuition. Yeah, we don't care about that one. Magnanimous Kings propagate. Oh, that's decent. And, alright, I'll do that, and then... like corruption. And we want to begin building stuff. go back to suppressing any sort of rebel movements. Which is good. Rotten Burrows, yep. Yep. Go to Bahar. I actually don't care too much about converting those guys over. I do want to grab that, and we will throw a seat there, and then that's right there. Ruler needs to be a general, which we cannot do. That doesn't count, no. Avoiding the Caedano. Sure, we can develop this. That needs to be 25 development, so we will actually throw down a, what's it called? A university. Alright, 4 more years until we can begin converting most everything. Minus 20, yeah. Take that away. Take that away. Take that away. That away. That away. Alright. Right. And I also would like to accept the Quechamar. They seem like good peoples. And we need to build manufactories. There goes our golden arrow. It's fine though. Alright. The lands Tinilurti is finally under our control. With all the fertile lands put to use, we can improve the lives of every one of our citizens across the vast kingdom. As the land is not beset by the horrific death winds of the Caedano, we can instead focus resource collection and bring prosperity to the great new cities founded by our unified people. Alright. And religion-wise, we include our subjects. Yeah. Clash of the Clans. It has come to our attention that the Kerkins and Tiburons have been fighting for quite some time over who should be the head forges of our countries. Both are home to extremely devoted smithing families, who have continued their practice since the founding of their cities. Now that they have begun bumping heads, a small proxy war has played out in our country, with the Kerkins sabotaging Tiburonans, and the Tiburonans tricking the Kerkins. This has slowed down production in our 2 largest Jane Katia production centers, and is a big pause on the momentum we had acquired. Ultimately, it falls upon us to break the conflict and decide who is more deserving of our attention. Which is T. We'll go with this one. They're still our home. Let's do rid of them. 554. Will this next expire? Expanded Royal Court. Royal favoritism. Start revoking burger privileges. And then take them. Yep, got them. So we need to seize more land from states, because it's the age of absolutism, so we kind of need to get this whole centralization thing done with. Let's declare for Nakar. One of the Nakars. And I would like War Wizard right there. Didn't leave them out and merely bring fleet this way. Okay, they can go that way. Alright. Oh, that province is finally done with. Excellent. I think we're gonna have to be a little bit meaner to the humans, it seems. Alright, Boar Cuirassiers and leather cannons, I guess. As far as what we want to take from them, I want those. Take that. Clean up the south. I'll get rid of that. We like the investment in the magical arts, actually, because it lets us get through learning spells a little bit quicker. I should probably send soldiers over that way. Yeah, we'll send them. those provinces. Alright. And my lovely little vassal. It is time for you to take a whole bunch of provinces. Nope. They need to get back right that way. These guys need to run here. They can move back down there. And we want to grant them that. And oh, can't do any of those. Or since they have a significantly less stable realm than we do, it will be a much bigger problem with all of this aggressive expansion. I do not want to core anything for them because I am lazy. And these guys are horrifically behind on admin because I keep force feeding them. That is fine. Because I hope we're just gonna annex them eventually. Okay. Nope, didn't mean to do that. Who is in this coalition? The only person of any sort of note is the Vanbury Guild. Combat width is currently 32,000, so we're gonna go up a few. Alright. I'll take the civility. And where is illusion? Simulation program, that. Okay. What are their highest dev provinces? These ones. We do want claims even though our vassal has claims on them because it makes it cheaper for us to take. Alrighty. And in terms of what would be the most valuable? I want to get this area all fully cored. And form rotten burrows for free stability. Yeah. Prestige, autonomy. All right. And now I can do this. Yeah. How are the cores going? Admin efficiency, admin governing. This is the most immediately useful. I don't care much about that. Keep that. Can I grant that? No. What can I do to... I like the humans to be tolerated, honestly. Well, maybe I could expel them. Tolerance. Humans. Ocean. Alright. We are down to tolerated. So these guys can handle all of that. And we pour all of these up. And then we go like that. And I'll go ahead and throw one down there. And there. Okay. Tired of these provinces having to administrate them. Alright, let's go... that. Should be a fairly easy war. Yeah, we'll get 20 of the big galleys. Alright. Rising Star. Really don't actually want very much from them, so... yes. What am I doing? Take one of these guys. These guys can get a defensive edict. Okay, we're just gonna have to take these guys this way. A few more battles like that and they'll have lost the war. Or however that quote goes. Go. These can get upgraded. And you get one more tick. Alright. Banbury Guild is not having a great time. We really do not have the manpower to keep fighting these battles. Makes the questionable decision to split up. Alright. They can go hide down this way. Okay, they have a lot more morale than me, but it did not work to their advantage that time. Banbury Guild is like out of manpower. We can do a bunch of those, probably makes sense. Yeah, I should probably build forts up this way. Let's get 10 galleons. Yeah, that's good. Alright. Yearly autonomy. Ooh, boy, that is a lot of men. Yeah. Really worth this for like 4 provinces? Because, like, well, I've lost a lot. They've lost a lot. This is one of the armies I didn't upgrade enough. Should have given it more cannons. We can do that. Tell him to get off my fucking land. Alright. You know what? I can take one core of that. These guys can go right there. Yep, there we are. Okay, here, here. Alright. I want to take... I want the rest of... how long till Cornyn Valiant's truce is up? I can do that. $16 cannons over here. Let's actually go up to 20 cannons for that one, and then 20 cannons for that one. Meanwhile, it's waiting. Let's get the Skill 3 Advisor. Where did my boats go? They are all over here. Alright. Knew there was another reason why I was taking that diplomatic ideas. So I can truce break. Okay. Doing great on the whole conversion thing. Yeah, we'll convert this. And this province has a huge amount of... what's it called? Because they kept on rising up. Alright, we can get that. There goes my commandant. We would like another commandant, actually. Well, we're basically already done with the culture conversion, because we have... I'll leave them alone, and I guess those guys alone. I like Twitch more. I think that they have nice culture borders, so they get to stick around. We will take that ourselves so we can hand it off to them. I can actually stop the persecution of the humans. Alright, so what we want is... I guess something... like that. It's weird, funky borders, but... I had an army... Did I have another army? Yes, this one. Alright, they head right that way. Congratulations, buddy. After they are devouring these provinces, we are, of course, going to go to war with Horn and Valiam once again. Yeah, we'll take them in. Head down that way. These guys can link up with them. And we want to do that. Get rid of those. Go on a new pilgrimage. Let's begin. Okay. And this army can sit down south and deal with anyone comes that way. Yeah. Wise policy. Yeah, I'll do that one. Discipline, yes. Alright. Social contract, Leviathan, treaties on governments, balance of power. Chimerian reign. Yeah. Knowledgeable King's Wisdom. The end. Alright, and we can do that. Alright, we are so close to the end. And we also need to... He's actually a competent general. Adrahelos I sits a mile below the peak of Vergodi, sitting upon a cliff with a perfect view of the eastern Alkand. Many hard years of labor have gone to make the Barabin peoples brethren of ours. Adrahelos I looks at the work of his ancestors in building the empire of peace and prosperity that the Fasiri people were destined for. Walking around Vergodi with his escorts, making sure not to go any higher than they already were, they circle around to view the ancestral homes of the Fasiri people and how far they have come. Upon that view, Adrahelos I's home city, Tiburana, can be seen from a distance, glimmering with activity. Adrahelos I calls his shamans and advisors to him and says, "Bring me the finest smiths in all of Eltikan. I will wait here. There's something that needs to be done to mark a new age." 2 meters in height with a pointed edge for a pommel, a maul the size of a human head ending with spiked tip on the top, all decorated with the most pristine of carvings depicting the tale of the shepherd who had become the first Ray. Blessed with the most powerful enchantments known to elfkind, able to split the clouds in half and shatter the earth with a single swing, large yet long yet not unwieldy, breaking down known laws of how a hammer this size should function. In the hands of Adrahelos I, the hammer becomes something more. This hammering is the sheltering sky, given to us by the heavens as a tool of judgment to be cast upon the unrighteous. He has given us an offering, and now we return our due to the heavens. Adrahelos I takes a knife and slits his wrist upon the blade, allowing his blood to pour onto the engravings. His advisors tell him to stop, yet he continues, knowing very well that the true kings watch overhead. As his blood falls upon the carving, they begin to glow yellow as the final sealing is complete. This is a tool for a king, one for healing, one for war, a cure for the sickness across the world, a curse for those who propagate it. Let it be passed to my children if they be worthy, and let the wicked dare touch the unmerciful penance of the one above all. Adrahelos I raised the hammer to the air, his wounds healed, and finished the sheltering sky. Alright, and with this, we can take quality ideas. That, and then quality education. And we will do that. Alright. That. Alright. Ability cannot be bought. Yep. We are on include subjects. I hope you're not planning on taking any of those provinces. I do not want to have to fight again, but I absolutely will. Alright, what is the devastation like these days? It's only bad here. Right. Nice big Bahari culture. Alright. So we probably should do that. We don't really have the merchants to be ludicrously rich, unfortunately. Because then we could steer trade all this way. Yen. Okay, I'm not at war with the, what's it called this time? And these guys, in general, we can go that way. Grab this fort. Should we? Right. I do need to build forts here. Need to build a fort right there. And it should be super cheap to take these provinces. They're not even cores. Where's their capital? Hey, that way. Alright, yeah, that's not happening. Siege this down real quick so we can go ahead and throw a fort down there so we can delay whenever they come over this way. Alright. Willing to surrender now. And then we want to grant that. Alrighty. And the mission says 30 development, marketplace, trade depot, workshop. 30 development. 30 development. And trade. This also needs temples to build that right there, and then this one is also a city. Alright, we are gonna have to deal with that. Fucking hate islands, man. I love the idea of a naval empire. I don't actually love the reality of it. I don't need... Private trade fleets gives more influence than it does loyalty. And then production, no taxation. Okay, so that needs 30 development. Workshop, temple, marketplace. Marketplace. And they can come here. And combat with. They can march right this way. Oh, we got a bunch of money. No idea where it came from. Want to build those, and then we want to build a whole bunch of these. Right. Wait, I want it right there instead. And what else can we get? Diplomats, autonomy change, legitimacy, reform, progress, growth. Both alright. Workshop, temple, marketplace. Workshop. Right. Down here, marketplace, workshop, temple. Marketplace, temple. Okay. We want trade. Trade efficiency. Sure. 2 free policies. Alright. We'll get that full board. And we'll put that there. Okay. Wait, can stay, because I like them. And here... Yep, we're good. Taxation right there. Alright. I'm pretty good on the whole conversion. Okay. What else does this need? Let's go with... Can I get an... What's it called? I don't think I'm gonna be able to get a... Oh, I might. Missionary. Form Rotten Burrows. And now we can do that. Alrighty. Everyone is happy. Hooray. Diplomat's advisor. War effort. Rotten Burrows. Burrows. Fine, we'll get rid of them. Alright. Meanwhile, they can deal with that. Alright. Down here. Get that done. Marketplace, workshop, temple. I kind of want to wait for them to core everything before I do something. That doesn't do anything anymore. Oh, the Eltikan have a brand new subcontinent. Okay. Let's do a simulation program, I guess. Alright, and we're going to take this mission. We're going to see if it converts all their provinces over. Taichend is close to being united by us, and many Taichendi have already begun to adopt our culture. It has quickly become clear to us that we are not the only foreigner to bring our ways to Taichendi. To the east, a group of sun-worshipping elves from a distant continent have begun to conquer significant swaths of land and have spread their false gods among the Taichendi. The determination of their followers in Taichend to overturn the existing societal order matches only our own, and they have made it their mission to remove us from the region. If we are to fully import our culture to Taichend, these interlopers must be destroyed. Okay, yeah. So we do want to wait until we have converted more. Yes. That also means we need to get a, what's it called? Missionary. That works. Alright. Can I let them in? Alright. Alright, I can accept our full core, a few more provinces. 50 seats. Right there. One here. One there. Give them a battle mage. I'd actually like to convert that province. Is there any way we can get some extra... Oh, there is. Let's begin. Pious King's preachings. Yes. That is exactly what I wanted. That actually drastically speeds up how quickly we can convert. Magnanimous King's propagation. Alright. The end. Alright, that's good. We got exactly what I wanted. As we continue to convert all of their provinces, I am going to go ahead and stop the recording and come back when we have everything converted. Alright, I'm back. I have not finished converting everything over to our religion, but we have done this. Millennia of war have not treated Taichend well. We have heard stories of past periods of prosperity when Taichend's many cities were not in disrepair and in ruin. But these stories hardly mirror the present reality. In its present form, Taichend's network of cities is highly inefficient, blocking any significant development of trade, productivity, or infrastructure. If we are to fully integrate Taichend into our realm, their cities must be rebuilt into something which reflects and supersedes their past heights. So that will instantly convert a whole bunch of provinces over. Right now, I am going through the process of building some cathedrals, or whatever they're called, to speed up the conversion process, which is, I think, helping. We also got an interesting event that gave us a whole bunch, that gave us harpy minorities in one of our home provinces right here. Alright, we'll do that. Alright, I'm gonna go and pause the recording, sorry, and come back when I have probably converted everything. Alright, I am back. We are about to finish up with the last conversion, and then we will be good to go. It is ours and always will be. Yep, yep. And then we go... give me trade advisor, rotten. Yeah, we can do that. Also, we have actually managed to get the manufactories that actually spawned in Norase, city formerly known as Karika, which is pretty cool. Yep. Also embraced global trade as an institution. And we do that. We also have almost finished up converting everyone over here over to Eltikan, which is nice. Chindayan obviously is great. I guess they converted these Chindayan provinces over to that, which is certainly interesting. And with that, we are going to do... Taichend is close to being united by us. Yep, we already read that. Alright. And we get all of these provinces flipped over to the correct culture. And then... we need to go fight the Wesdemarian Leech Dens, actually. Alright. That's fine. Take them all. Declare for these. It's literally just 2 provinces, bro. I'll make this an unpleasant war. Yes, discipline is excellent. We'll do this one. Fear and Loathing is more of a meme annoying spell than something actually serious. Spellbook, Evocation, Elemental Fury. In case you're wondering why that battle was so close, that is because these are Song Servants. And you basically have to kill them all before they'll ever break. One of the more interesting aspects of the Ambinar mod is some of the rebels that are like monsters or whatever. You actually have to kill them all. You can't break them morale-wise. There's a whole system with the Holahana, which are the giant kaijus that you fight over there. And they're very spooky, scary rebel stacks. Each one of them is 100,000 men, and you have to kill them all. How close are we to being able to take that? Oh, we can wait. Hey, Indraliond is a thing. I think they're getting a mission tree, which is kind of interesting. Alright, yeah, we're gonna have to upgrade them. Oh yes, something we can do. Fort... right here, right there. And then we gotta do one Damn, all the provinces I want to build them in are developed. Or, too built up, sorry. And then we can build one right here as well, and that will give us... Make it so they can't just, you know, randomly occupy our provinces. Wish they would surrender. Because I do not like having to trek through the jungle. And every time we fight, we absolutely deal, like, obscene amounts of damage to them, but just have difficulty winning the battles. I mean, they're elves, so it makes sense why we'd have a rough time against them. Yeah. I hate all those guys. Happy to have you go fight them weird wine-drinking person who's definitely not possessed by their dead grandma. Go down that way. Alright, these guys... They can get blockaded. Bombard it. Alright. And they do not have a good time when they fight us. Like, they'll win! They can win battles. It's just not worth it. Pyrrhic victories. Alright, we can go fight them. Will they hand me these 2 provinces? They will. I go fight this battle, though. Yeah, take that, you bitch. Give me money. Beat those guys. Oh! Huh. That's cool. Age of Artificery. We are a nation of mages, not artificers. We've invested too much. We can go fight them. These guys can go sit in the car. And for this, every province needs to be Gautieri. You know what? We can just... no, we can't core that. Never mind. Yeah, we'll take a green orc. Why not? And we can build a bunch more production buildings. Excellent. More tax buildings. Great. And we can build some more government buildings. I'll go back to expelling the humans. We might actually do. I'll pretend like it's a wave of anti-human movements. Now that we've basically unified much of South Aelantir under our enlightened, legitimate, magnanimous, and glorious rule. Get rid of that. Alright. How behind they are on everything. We also picked a really weird subject to even do this in the first place. Because they are not Techendi. They are, South Aelantir. Alright, human majority expelled. Alright, we don't need to do that then. Okay. And we can finally do end the Techendi Night. 1,660 years ago, the glorious Teichend of old was destroyed in a devastating implosion. Since then, the subcontinent has seen only death and war, stricken a stranglehold by those who cared only for their personal glory and achievements. Though we control Teichend, its people still confuse us with their previous unifier, blood-soaked conquerors who viewed life through the crack of a whip. It will be difficult, but to dissipate this misplaced belief, we must teach them what differentiates us from others, the core of being Fasiri. That we insist on sharing our glory with all of our brotherly peoples. When we first encountered the Teichendi, they reminded us so fondly of ourselves, a people embroiled in endless war, who found glorious meaning on the battlefield. Centuries ago, when Eosiki first united our people, we would have been unwilling to end their perpetual wars, finding it a practice uniquely familiar to us. Since then, the idea of our people has evolved, compelling us to find worth outside the clash of a blade. When we unified the Teichendi, they misunderstood and even actively rejected our regime, for we brought an unfamiliar peace to their fractious lands. Integrating the Teichendi into our culture would be a far greater challenge than that of the Kaonai and Medabahar, but one which we were specifically equipped for. What better way to teach the Teichendi than to study our own development? We started with tried methods, as we did with the Kaonai. We overthrew their decadent masters. As we did with the Medabahar, we showed them the light of our faith, but they remained a confused society, aimless and foreign. So at last we allowed them to be exposed to other peoples, other ideas, as we were. The Oran Nehru worshipped false gods, but they were a great assistance to us, for they taught the Teichendi what we could not, how to fight one's beliefs. So we constructed grand cities and roads for them, and allowed our fellow peoples of Andios to migrate into Teichend, and eventually a new people was formed, one which understood our brotherly ideals while retaining the glory-seeking spirit of old Teichend. As much as we admired the bombastic glory of the old days, now that the peace and prosperity of our people shines in all corners of Teichend, we have built a Teichend far more substantial than anything which preceded it. Only one question remains. Like the other people which we have made our brothers, we could integrate them fully into our empire, but the Teichendi hold a special place in the heart of the Fasiri, and many of them have called to be reformed into an empire equal to our own. We're going to take a save here so we can look at both options. And we can go, all are equal under Austin Foss. And with that, we integrate all of them and convert them to our culture, these provinces too. And that makes us, should be number 1, nope. Number 2 great power, only behind, whatever the hell is happening with Ambenar. You can take a look at that after we are done looking at this. I think we got rid of all the slave goods, trade goods. Yes, we did. Except this some of these provinces are not working correctly. Alright, so that is option 1. That would make us the second most powerful nation, behind only the Empire of Anbanar. It's a little bit weird to end a campaign not as the most powerful nation, and we can take a look at the other option. Which is... come on, load. Alright. They too shall fight for true glory. Alright. And that gives them... they turn into the Taichendi Empire. But they have our idea set. That's weird. And the Twin Empire... what does that do? I don't even know what Twin Empire gives us. Now let's support loyalists, divert trade. So I guess it's like a better version of a personal union, because you can do both of these. It's also... that would make them almost the 8th greatest power. Because they have 1,302. Culture-wise, obviously they are all that. But I'm actually going to quickly pause the recording and go back so we can look at our map modes. Alright, I am back. I went ahead and full cord everything, so now I have a look at our income, 500 ducats a month. Not super amazing, but it's pretty good. Alright, income. Yeah, number 2 behind Anbanar. Development, number 2. Max manpower, actually good. Tech-wise, equal. Ideas, we're a little bit behind. Power projection. We actually have good admin efficiency. Pretty high absolutism as well. Actually, good score. Usually, you don't end up with good scores if you start as a sort of smaller nation. Religion-wise, this is a fun one. Yeah. Gotire is actually the 2nd largest religion, which is crazy. We can actually head over to yeah, let's head over to observer mode and make sure that's true. Yep. Advisors, military leaders. We had quite a lot of very good generals. Oh, Wex unified. Discipline-wise, we weren't anything special, really. Yeah, scroll down a good bit. Although we had the amazing combat ability. Professionalism, tradition, also nothing special. Siege ability, again. Defensiveness, really, no. Force limit, yes, number 2. Army losses, or total army loss. We actually... damn. Actually, like, 12. Something like that. And income, total, number 2. Alright. We can take a look around the world and see what's happening. Went ahead and deleted all these regions. Religion-wise, the Jad spread into Sarhall, as it tends to do. No one won. We have Gnomish Catarata, which is always fun. Don't even, I've never played Catarata, so I don't have any idea how that happens. Yeah, it's run by gnomes. Empire of Ambanar is kind of a shadow of what it once was. Because it didn't get any of the electors. So... Did it get... No, I don't think it got... Nope, nope. No, it got Silverforge. Didn't really get any of the other electors, though, because Pearl's Edge, BPEC, Silverforge... Yeah. Oh, I got the Magisterium, too. I guess I got two. And culture-wise... I mean, that's, like, the only interesting thing that's happened. I guess the Imperial Gnomes converted... Or Imperial Halflings got that done. Rivarian Cliff Gnomes... Area actually has the Kobold Zani Kobolds, which is absolutely fascinating. Orvaria actually did fairly well. Managed to conquer provinces. Council League and Castellier simultaneously exist, which is cursed. I'm going to assume this is Blade Marches that formed that. In Good of War, obviously broke the colonization of the Dwarvar, got rid of that. Gunalo is big, which means Fangula Pantheon is big, which means basically no one follows the Nokai Pantheon. Shadow Pact. Izalmora migrated south. No, not really any of the shapeshifters left. They have access to the, yeah, they have access to the shifters. The Vermin got Ardimia. And... yeah, we don't see the weird Demon Nation. Or Infernal Nation, sorry. Yeah, not really anything too interesting. Nakahadis usually wins. Otherwise, well, I guess Regent Court is... I've never actually seen a game where the Regent Court is this dominant, because Coronite and Rebellions are basically like a minority. Yeah, like... Moonhaven Colony and Vern are really the... Oh, I guess, and Grombar are the only Coronite nations of much note. I guess also Nurchestir. Because Nurchestir gotten its... I can never remember if they have gotten their, You guys can end the video, or stop watching now. Yeah, they got their new idea set. Which is a very powerful... Actually really powerful ideas. Construction cost is good. Infantry shock is good. Innovativeness is good. All power cost and shock damage goes well with that. Discipline, good. That's alright. Very good. Solid. Separatism is good. Yeah. Alright. I think that is where I am going to end this episode. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and have a good day.